Okay, here we go. I have a leftover packet of a watercolor class that I taught. I taught this smush method. I'm sure it has a name. I don't know what it is, but it's my favorite way to paint ever. So I'm gonna teach you that today. Not sure how to say that, but it's super cool. It was on my Christmas list and it came late. So he brought it to me. He's like, oh, I forgot I ordered you this. So it was a really sweet surprise. Nice little January deal. I'm using a hairspray water tool. This is what the gal who cuts my hair uses to get it wet. I like it because it has a continuous spray. You could see the mist was nice and super fine. Just gets water in there. I just like to be hands-on. I don't necessarily feel like I need a brush to move the water around. Just really want to soak that paper, make sure it's super saturated. There we go. You'll notice this has some paint on it. It's been dry for a really long time, so I don't think it's gonna make it into our painting. I'm just gonna put some of this over top. I'm trying to see. Desert green, that's the color of this Horadam watercolor. Okay, so you can see how much I put on here, and that's for this size painting. I'm just gonna take it and flatly push the pigment on here. This paint is so fun. It looks like, you'll start to see, it looks like oxidized copper. The green is obviously the oxidation, and you'll start to see the copper notes come out. It is so cool. I saw these on who knows what, right? Online somewhere, and thought, oh wow, do you see it? You see it start coming out? Oh, it's so cool. And thought, oh man, that does a lot of different colors in one tube. A lot as in basically 2 colors, but I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my brush now and kind of move that pigment around. It doesn't move like Daniel Smith paint. Seems like I need a lot of pigment comparatively. Like I'm gonna go in again with this. I do prefer Daniel Smith in that aspect, but you know, Daniel Smith doesn't have these color combinations, so it's fun to try something new. And as I go, I'm just gonna teach you how I do one of these smush paintings. The goal here, I would like it to move a little bit more. Come on, you can do it. Seems like once it moves, then it kind of doesn't really, whoops. Doesn't really leave any behind. So I'm you know, giving this a try as I speak. But I just really love what that color is doing. It's so cool. Pull some of this way. That was unfortunate, but I hit my page with my brush. Oh well. Okay, so now, while the paper is still incredibly wet, I'm just gonna drop in basic shapes. I don't, you know, my brush is, I'm holding it sideways. I drew a trunk just to follow. It's gonna get covered up entirely. I'm just gonna drop some trees in. The end goal is to have kind of a forest, an abstract, I guess, forest. Because it's definitely not realism here. But it definitely translates forest. Forest feels. But how cool is that? That bottom color that's holding, like all that just looks like copper. So cool. So this style of painting, you really gotta be okay with going with the flow, because the more water you use, the less control you have. And so you noticed in the very beginning, I just drenched this piece of paper. So I am not looking to crazy control what's happening with the paint. And that is a comfort zone for me. I really enjoy this type of painting. I'm noticing there's a lot of color here. There was a lot of color here. I like that balance. So I put trees here. So now I'm gonna put a tree or three over here. Composition wise, it always looks pretty nice to have an odd number. Often in my art, I find myself accidentally being symmetrical, just because I guess our brains just naturally want to put things in order or in their place. And it doesn't, like, okay, here's my third tree, like, it's just a whisper of a tree, right? But it's an odd number. Actually, we want to be a little bit louder whisper here. Let's get some pigment. Okay, so this is a little different. When I use Daniel Smith paints, if there's any pigment on here, there's just a ton to pick up. So the makeup of this paint just seems a little thinner, which is fine. It's just new. I'm just observing the difference. I am so familiar with Daniel Smith, as it is my favorite paint, that I can't help but compare it to that. All right, so we've got three up here. They're a lot more spread out. These are more condensed. I'm enjoying that. I like that this is white here. I'm not loving what happened over here. It just looks like a mess instead of on purpose abstract. So I'm just gonna rub in some of what's left there. Yeah, that's okay. I want to add some more. Get a little bit different texture. Okay. I'm going to add some more here as well. All right. So now it's time to let this really dry. I like to add scripture to my paintings, and so my scripture will probably go here. And I have to think about the whole composition, like, is that gonna look good? That's gonna look really bottom heavy if I don't do something, you know, real interesting up here. Something my daughter noticed is that I never put birds in my compositions. Like, you're right, I never do that. And they're super easy, they're like an M, you know? So I may add some birds. We'll see how it goes. Paint right out of the tube, I think. A little bit on there. Okay, so now it's wet paint on damp. Where do I want to start? More detailed. Wonder if any of that copper color will come out. Probably not. Seems like that adding more water is what brought the copper out. Still super fun. So I'm just trying one of these tree styles that I don't do a lot. Not loving this one, so we'll see. I feel like I made the branches too thick. They don't really match the trees in the background. Not loving that decision, but I am kind of stuck with it, and so that's pretty normal. Sometimes you go for something and then you hate it. And there's usually a very ugly stage when it comes to watercolor. It was nice and smooth and beautiful, and then now I feel like, well, screwed that up. Last month, totally loved it. The opportunity just presented itself, and it was, gosh, it just felt like zero work, and the people that came were so fun. My daughter got to join us. It was really comforting having her there. She has no idea how supportive that was. Okay, I'm liking that. I kind of like what's happening here. That's cool. I think this guy needs a little bit more depth to it, so we're gonna go back in with some more. It's not gonna be darker necessarily. Well, it is because there's less water. So that is how you change the color in watercolor. You just add more pigment. You don't necessarily add black or white. You just add more of the color you're working with. So I like what's happening here. I'm starting to see a little bit of that copper color come out. I'm gonna lift it up to see. Maybe just gonna let gravity hit that a little bit. Yeah, I actually really like that. I could do scripture here. This is turned out light enough that I could do maybe the first part of a verse here, and the second part here is, I think they just add character to the piece. All right, well, that is probably it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was fun. I hope you feel encouraged to try something new. You can do this. Grab some paper, grab some paint and a paintbrush. Give it a try.